Finally listened to the Drake album, and I didn't hear a bad rapper. What I heard was a man that's terrified of silence, a man that's terrified of being alone. And to be honest, that tells you everything. It tells you everything you need to know. When Drake first came out, what made him special is that he was able to capture a moment. He brought a certain vulnerability on the scene. It was new because most of the rappers, back then, most of the music or the artists were more hardcore or gangster rap or this and that or trap rap or whatever. But when he came on the scene and he was doing a blend of singing mixed with rap, it was completely different, and it caught people's attention because a lot of times he would sing and be vulnerable, and of course he caught a lot of heat for that. But it also is that's also what drew him to a whole new audience. Bodies of work, like I said, so far gone. Um, Even the first mixtapes that he dropped, like Comeback Season and Heartbreak Drake, that's really when he was kind of breaking ground and changing the game in that way. And so the difference that I see from then to now is that when Drake first came on the scene, he matched the frequency of what the culture needed. Somewhere along the way, he lost that frequency. He lost that signal, and he got off track. And he started instead of being brave and changing the game and doing stuff that was new and causing the culture to move with him, he started listening too much to the outside noise, to everybody's opinion, and he actually began began to fool himself into being something that he's really not. And that's what we're dealing with today. And now at 40 years old, a lot of the criticism that he's getting is that, Drake, you're 40. Why are you still talking about this? Why are you still talking about that? One of the popular songs that first came out was "Make You Cry." I'm like, man, I'm listening. I'm like, okay, maybe it started giving me feelings of the old Drake. I'm an only child. No one could have made another. I had to father my mother and treat my son's grandfather like my older brother. Um, and so he started getting like a really personal. He was just being really vulnerable about everything that he went through, and it really was connecting. But it really caught my attention because I was like, as the album went on, it's like he reverted back to this whole mindset of needing validation. Like even when you go on, it's called "Make Me Pay." Basically, he's talking about like Kendrick and how they calling him the new GOAT, and he's still like being distracted by this beef when it's like 2 or 3 years later, everyone ain't kind of moved on. The culture is evolving, so like him using women as a way to validate who he is at the, the point he is in his life, it's another sign that, yo, Drake, you're not evolving. And so that's really what I got from this album. I think the biggest thing with the Iceman album is not necessarily that the rapping is bad, I actually think the production is really good. But the biggest thing, the biggest thing that I came away with is that Drake is still at a point in his life where he's lost the signal from who he really is and any true message. And I think that's one of the things that he gets jealous with the response that people have to Kendrick. Is that one thing you can say about Kendrick is that he has a foundational message in what he believes in, and I think that's what resonates with people. Like even with his last album, the intro to his last album, he was like, at first it was fuck these niggas, but now it's plural, fuck everybody. So Kendrick, he has a mindset of, instead of trying to get validation from people, he has something that he believes in, he stands on, and if people disagree, he like fuck it, forget them. And that's the difference between him and Drake. And that's why, and people can feel that through the music, even with the production and the things that, the type of music that Kendrick produces. It's not trying to chase trends. Like I was saying in the previous video, the ocean, the signal is like the ocean. No matter whether anybody's looking or people staring at it or whatnot, the ocean is like the waves. They keep crashing and hitting the shore day after day, and that's what the signal is. It's sticking to the source and where the energy comes from, and that's different for each individual. And so you have to be connected to that. Otherwise, you're going to get distracted by the noise, and it may not show immediately, but over time, if you're distracted by the noise, you're eventually it's gonna come to a head to where you end up looking around like, dang, what happened? Why do I feel lost? Why do I feel out of place? And it's all because you got distracted by all the other voices, all the other noise, instead of staying focused on the signal and the truth that that you're connected to.